Hi folks, done some progress on the Napoleonic French. These are the Foundry Scouts I was showing the other day, and I've just been going through all of them with the white, which has taken the longest. I've tried to do some wood grain on the muskets, and well, once the gunmetal and flesh had been done, everything came together quite quickly, and really happy with the white. That's the new sepia shade that I've been using. I'm not sure if I showed the bottle for that. It's a game colour sepia shade. That's from Vallejo. Really good, and I've just decanted it into a little old Agrax Earthshade bottle, and that's just the job for dipping in and using on the go. I haven't put it on the anything else, I've just put it on the white, as a sort of targeted wash, you might call it. The rucksacks, or haversacks, I'm going to dry brush a little bit. I should have done that before adding the white straps really. And a few areas that need touching up, I need to go in with the brass. There's one figure who's a little bit of an older uniform, but I think he'll blend in okay. He's got the higher, almost jack boots, and there seems to be more going on his shako, a little bit more busy. But I think he's blended in okay. He's same rough scheme, I suppose. And I'm sure the odd person would have held on to their fatigue caps or old shakos and things, and blend them in there. The officer needs a little bit of TLC. We'll need some gold. I think gold or silver. No, I think he's got gold epaulets and a gold plate. There's another, that would be my command stand at the back there. Drummer just had the flash is completely done. White is done now. I just need to go in with I think he's dark green and yellow French line drummers. Yeah, and you sort of dot on the yellow dots. And the eagle there, or the flag bearer, who's going to have a brass eagle, and probably find the flag for him. Any sort of generic Italian flag should do. So I've got the Italian painted up for the most part. They need to be gloss varnished because they're metals, and I'm not sure whether to have them all firing in one rank and then behind them a loading, or I might just do it a little bit more ragtag and have a bit more of a sort of mixed up formation where you'd have I don't think it makes much sense to have, what would I do here? Yeah, so you can either have them all firing in the front, or maybe firing at the back with the first rank loading. I don't think it matters too much, and I don't think they sort of volley fired, strictly speaking. Would they have all fired as a battalion, or would they fire by rank? I'm not sure really, but not that I'm overly concerned. I'm going to try and break them up a bit. I think I don't want it to look too static. That's all the Frenchies done for now. The finish on them isn't very nice. It's a bit grainy. The texture of the metal is it's not porous, but it's rough. I'm not sure if I wasn't careful enough putting down the primer. That might have been it. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It's just one of those little things. But when I was putting the white on the trousers, I didn't think it was a very smooth finish. But again, it could have just been a sort of rough job on the primer. I've got Grenadiers primed up. I think these are just center companies. So I'm going to do four men companies, and then do the multicolored pom-poms like I did on the Swiss. And that's clearly indicated on the perimeters. Oh, guide. It's got the Swiss uniforms there, a few flags if they're needed. And quite handy. Voltiger company, I like to paint up them skirmishing and in line. That's what I like to do. 6-man companies I tend not to do, though I'm sure it would look spectacular. Grenadier company I haven't painted up here. I'm actually using the Grenadiers in bear skins, and I do actually have Grenadiers and Shakos as well, so I'm just going to paint up the whole lot and then I can mess around with that. I've got the Voltigeurs and Shakos with the tall plumes as well, so they'll be in yellow and green. That's the sort of the facings and things. And yeah, I've got 4 companies. Well, I've got 6 companies here, plus I think that's including the command stand. The one thing I'm never sure what to do is here the command stand is sort of shared, I think, between... Oh no, it's actually in the second Fusilier company. I think the command stand, I think I have the right of it, that it's more of a... like what would you call it? Like a representation of command rather than... Because in reality each company would have its own command section. You have officer, drummer, flag bearer. Oh, maybe not flag bearer, maybe only the battalion had a sort of, what do you call it, maybe a regimental command, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think it's an impression of command rather than, strictly speaking, there would only be one officer in the entire battalion. I definitely don't think that's the case. But anyway, I'm rambling. But what I was wondering is, the command stand, is it worth painting them as an individual company? So I could perhaps do all command in orange, say, oh, that's sort of peach pom-pom. Oh, that went flying. I've also seen them a lot in red, like the flag bearer tends to have a red pom-pom, but then it's a bit of a mixed bag. Yeah, all the representations of a flag bearer, I've seen them as red. Perhaps that the flag bearer is always a grenadier, potentially. Yeah, that's in all 3 of the information sheets I have from Perry. The French light infantry, the Swiss, and the French line infantry proper. All the flag bearers have seem to be grenadiers, so I'd be this individual here. And yeah, just wondering about that. It doesn't have grenadier epaulets, so I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see. We've got, if we need 4 regular. Well, we definitely need commands, don't we? Just peel those off. Yeah. Say we have 4. I like doing this when I'm painting. It sort of distracts me. Command 3 companies. Those will all be in different colours for the line infantry. That's all I need for a battalion, because I'll be giving a company of grenadiers and a company of voltigeurs, maybe even displaying the voltigeurs skirmishing as well, because I've got sculpts for those, you know, firing poses. And then that means the ones I've just painted, I've got 2 companies spare, which is really handy. That's going to form a third of the next company I'll be painting up. I'm just having a glance off to the side. I've got quite a lot of sculpts primed up already. I've even made a start on the greatcoats, but I do like some sort of uniformity to the unit. I don't know if I want to add in all greatcoats to this. There are some interesting sculpts, like they're in fatigue caps, and there should be enough there for command as well. I've got quite a lot of voltigeurs, which is not massively helpful. Foundry, I have looked at this. Foundry don't seem to mix very well with Victrix and Warlord. I was just comparing Warlord metals with Foundry, which seem to be quite short. They might even be 25mm. Got my trusty. See how tall this was. Head to eye. Roughly, I don't know. I would say it's 25mm foot to eye. So maybe that's the sort of old method. I don't think he meant to include the Shako, but yeah, definitely the newer Warlord metals are very tall. I'm not sure how these compare with Perry metals these days. I haven't really looked into that, but Perry plastics might even be taller than these. They seem to be quite a different style. Foundry metals are quite stocky, and yeah, seem to be a little more not cartoonish, because they are nice and accurate, but more of an impression of a soldier, that rather than the sort of accurate sort of human proportions that Perry seems to do now. Lots to think about. Might get out the next batch and whilst the enthusiasm's up, and just keep going. I know I've got potentially a game of Bolt Action coming up on Thursday, so I might need to give a lick of paint to anything I've got left over for the Wehrmacht. I've also got a resin Charby 1 to paint up, and maybe I could lend that to the other player, because he's playing the French. We're going to do some blitzkrieg action. But yeah, lots to think about, and as always there's always more to paint, but I've been quite good and I haven't bought anything, strictly speaking. I mean, I had to buy some, well, I got 10mm Pendraken, but I think I said about those, but since then I've made a sort of solemn oath not to buy any more miniatures because it's getting out of hand. And I'm slowly getting through it all. I've even built up my plastics, so when they get primed up, that's all my plastics gone, bar a box of Gripping Beast Dark Age Warriors, which I think those are going to be multi-based, but not thinking of doing those anytime soon. And before I ramble on too long, guys, that's it for now. I'm gonna try and finish these off as soon as I can. Varnish, and gloss and matte varnished, yeah, that's what I like to do for my metals. Never use gloss on plastic though, because I don't like the sheen that it gives off, and it seems to be worse on plastic for some reason. And yeah, leave it at that. Ta-da.